Alrighty guys, as you keep bringing us to the Dragon Ball Legends TOP guide video. So this is coming about like a week later, which is honestly, it's okay. You guys still have a week to do this. And we are going to be putting this alongside the part 1 walkthrough video as well. So last season, we ended off at rank 5,652, so no top cut or anything like that, but that's okay. I don't really care about the top cut. It's nice to get here and there, but we did secure that juicy 1000 CC, which is the biggest importance of these videos. Before we get into the actual video, huge shout out to doomgeta, the entire Discord server, all those guys, right? Because without them, of course, as you guys do know, these videos would not be as good as they are. And of course, before we move on, there will always be timestamps in the description down below. That way you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go. If you guys just need a regeneration team, just skip on over to the regeneration portion, listen to that little bit, and then you're good to go. Alright, so first thing we will talk about here is going to be the pathing, right? So the pathing, left hand side, you only have 2 hard fights that we do have labeled right there, right? And then on the right hand side, we have the part 2 section, which is going to have 3 hard fights. Honestly, I don't think that that's that bad at all. And even going through the fights right here, we're going to go through them a little bit more in depth on the tips and tricks portion, but it doesn't look like too bad of a season. And remember, the green pathing right there is an alternate pathing. That alternate path specifically is going to be for more points if you guys want to be a little bit extra greedy. And these are color coded for you guys, that way you guys can see exactly where you need to start bringing out your high tier units, your Z tiers and your S tiers, etc, etc. And the gray pathing, you don't really have a need for them to be out in the field, right? Because you're not getting a substantial bonus. But once it turns orange, purple, red, that's when it starts ramping up pretty significantly. And we also have the color wheel for you guys right here. Remember, this is only taking into consideration the labeled hard fights, right? So we have just a couple labeled right here. For threatening reds, there's a total of 5, yellows 4, purples 4, greens 3, and blues 7. So honestly, pretty well distributed aside from green, right? But this is still a good number of units, so you kind of don't want to put all your eggs into one basket in terms of picking up a color. Especially something like red, right? Because there's 7 threatening blues that you're going to be going up against throughout the course of these hard fights. And then alongside that, we do have the cover prediction wheel right here. So for strike cover changes, there's a total of 8, and then strike nullification 2. So strike mitigation in total 10. And then for blast, there's 4 cover changes, 3 nullifications for a total of 7. And then universal, there's none. So you don't have to worry about that. But again, these are still pretty close hand in hand right here, right? So probably not going to be definitely like, oh, you should use blast team this season, oh, you should definitely use strike team this season. I mean, typically blast teams are better off when it comes to cover changes and stuff like that, and they still do kind of have the advantage here just because they have like 3 less, but it's not going to make or break your gameplay if you go with the strike team. So next, let's talk about some of these fights and some units I kind of just want to highlight just for a brief second. So this fight, I don't think this one's bad at all. But the Master Roshi, he does have a turn 2 stun, so obviously get him out of the way. The TN has a turn 2 stun / super attack, so he's going to super attack you, and then he's also going to stun you. So when you go up against this fight, you have to ask yourself, what's, obviously, would I rather just eat a stun or a stun and a super attack? So TN is definitely the higher priority of the two, but Master Roshi, in an ideal world, you get both of them out on turn 1. So now this next one is actually part of the alternate pathing right here. I don't think this one's going to be bad, especially given that we've had more severe variations of this fight right here. But you guys, if you guys don't know, you guys should know, this blue Gohan, he actually has a taunt mechanic, essentially making all of your attacks focus him. Unless you have someone that can cancel those buff effects, like the red Buhan, for example, can do that on his blast arts. Not Boo Tanks, which I did say last time. That's not what happens with Boo Tanks, but so you're going to focus him down on turn 1, essentially, unless you can have someone that can cancel that effect. This guy has death buffs, and then this guy has a barrier mechanic. And here's another fight that's on the alternate path as well. Just a Saiyan Saga team, nothing too special. Piccolo has a super attack on turn 3. Get him out of the way before that happens. So this one's pretty straightforward right here. So high priority, Green 21 is able to stun on turn 2. The Android 16, relatively new unit, gets a bunch of stuff once he falls below 70% HP. And then probably the red 21 also has some pretty good damage, right? Some things to note is that the purple 21 obviously is going to have the transformation stats, can do a decent amount of damage. And then this stupid Android 20 or Dr. Zero, he does have a blast cover. It's either above him or below him. All right, so the next fight that we're going to talk about is the Vegeta Clan fight, one of our labeled hard fights. So the big three of this fight is definitely, and you're going to see it on screen right here. So the Sweater Trunks has the Universal cover, the Sword of Hope Trunks has a strike cover, and then the tag unit Vegeta Trunks, they do not have any cover change available to them, but tag units are still annoying nonetheless. So those three, and then something that you do have to keep in mind is that EX Red Vegeta, he does have some debuffs when he's on a Vegeta Clan based team, right? So he's debuffing the middle row, so try to straight avoid that unless you have someone that just doesn't care about debuffs. Next we have this fight. I don't think this one's that bad either. It's just a little bit annoying because there's a lot of purples here, so you're like, oh, I should bring yellows to this. Super 17, the red one, he thrives off of you having a yellow on the team, right? Because if he attacks one of your yellows, he gets a 50% chance to attack them again to follow up with another attack, right? So I would say unless you have a unit that can just straight up kill him in turn 1, probably don't bring a yellow to this. Also, he's absorbing a Blast Arts, and the green 17 absorbs a Blast Arts, and you're getting debuffed to hell and back by the purple 17. All right, so next we have this Majin Buu fight. So this one actually, I feel like we haven't seen it in a while. So blue Deborah, he stuns a unit on turn 2, and then the red Deborah, he's basically supporting his team at when he attacks and at the end of turn. So the Deborahs are actually both of your high priorities right here. Ideally, you get both of those guys out of the way on turn 1. And then your last targeted unit here is going to be the Majin Vegeta because he's getting buffs every time he gets hit. And then as for debuffs here, so it's actually the Fat Buu, the green one, that's debuffing your middle row. All right, so next we have this ridiculous fight right here. I know it's bad, but the other options are also pretty bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at this, dude. I mean, this one's not the worst, but we're going with this one right here. So basically, almost everyone should be highlighted. Almost, right? So high priority, go Frieza. They have a strike cover change for someone here, usually, right? And then MVP 17, he has a blast cover for someone, typically, and he's able to remove debuffs for his allies. Hey, he just has the support, right? But the scare, or not the, well, yeah, he is a scary unit. Angel Golden Frieza. He has a turn 1 blue card. You have to take him out second or third because he gets a second blue on turn 4, right? You have to just be aware of that. And then obviously tag units, they're still annoying, right? Evo Ken. And then you have the UIs at the end. Typically that's where you're going to go for. And the reason you go for the UIs last is so you don't waste an attack early on, since they mitigate. They both have mitigation effects, right? Purple has dodges, and then MUI dodges and deals damage back to you. Plus he has like a strike / blast cover. So the way you approach it could be very different from mine. It could be exactly the same as mine. Next we have PO. All right, so blast teams. You got to take this guy out first if you're a blast team. If you're a strike team, ignore that. You can take him out like third, fourth slot, whatever you want. Whatever works best for your attack order. This guy, he eats a Blast Arts, and then upon eating the Blast Arts, he turns it into 100% to a special move gauge. So that's why you go for him first, because he has a relatively low key restore speed. Even if he does get that 100% to his special move gauge, you're probably going to be able to kill him before he lets it off on you. Probably, right? I don't know. Maybe you have like super low key restore speed. You still get screwed by it. I don't want you to blame me for that. Secondary, you do have Jiren on here. Jiren is a stunner, a turn 1 stunner. So nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. And then this Broly typically does get taken out last. And then next you have Ginyu Force. So this one's also pretty easy. So high priorities are going to be the tag units, of course. And then your last unit is going to be the Revival Ginyu, just because he is going to have the revival mechanic, right? So take him out last. And then you have this fight right here. So this fight, I honestly don't think it's too bad. You do have like a quote-unquote big 3 right here. So obviously the Goku Vegeta unit, you get him out of the way before turn 3. Don't let them fuse. And then it's going to be the green Broly. You don't want him to build up or anything like that. And then the blue Broly, the Blue Legends Limited Broly. You want to get him out of the way as well. So those 3 right there. And then you are going to get stunned on turn 1 by the red Frieza. You had nothing you can do about that. And then you have this Frieza Force fight right here. So honestly, they made it a little bit easier by swapping in this red Frieza instead of the stunning red Frieza. So just go for this guy first if you're a blast team again. Able to get that 100% to special move gauge if he eats the blast arts, right? If you're a strike team, you can take him like in the third or fourth slot. He's not really a high priority. And then lastly, you have the Zero Mortals Plan Goku Black fight. This fight is a little bit annoying just because you are going to get super attacked. There's not really a whole lot of units in the game that are faster than the Ultra Goku Black, and he does get a turn 1 super attack. So you're going to eat that from him most likely. And then other high priorities here is definitely this Goku Black because he's supporting his team. And then this red Goku Black because he's debuffing you. And then Zamasu, I do want to make a quick little note, is that he is going to debuff you heavily once you do kill him, right? And so that's like, oof, that's a yikes, but at least you're taking him out like in the 4 slot, so he's not getting the full extent of that. Like, if you killed him first and then everyone just started molly-whopping you, like, that's kind of on you. But another unit here is that the Zamasu, this blue Zamasu, he's gonna debuff you upon hitting him, and he's also, by default, he's debuffing the bottom row, so try to stay away from that, because there's already a lot of debuffs coming out, right? All right, so now before we move on to our top teams for the season, this is the Legends Key / guide. So if you guys have any questions about any of the icons that are popping up on the screen before you, please just come back and refer to this before you go into the comment section. You're like, hey, what does the red arrow mean? You can just come back to this right here, dude. All right, so now let's talk about our top team. So the team I'm going to be using this season is LOE, and I think this is actually a great team, especially if you want to be greedy for points, right? Probably Frieza Force is going to be a little bit better for points specifically. But this is the team we are going to be using. So core unit obviously is going to be Chilled. This guy is your HPZ ability buffer. Core unit is going to be Revza. Revza he has the Zenkai, so he's even better than before. Not by, I mean, a ton, but at least his stats are way better now, right? So he's acting as support, acting as heals, his revival unit. If you can get him to revive, that's freaking amazing, right? And he used to just be like a no-star requirement, meaning you can run him like at 5 stars, right? But since he's Zenkai, like, we're gonna start recommending him to just be at the Zenkai level. For your boost units, you have S tier boost from this guy. He's also a turn 1 stunner. A Z tier boost from this guy. And if you don't have that guy and you want your Z tier boost, Mecha Frieza is Z tier, bro. I know it's piling on a lot of purples, but if you're in desperate need of the replacement Z tier, you can go ahead and just slide that guy on there. It's not a big deal. And then you have the S tier green cooler over here as well. Additionally, what we have here, so obviously on the main team, this guy's a turn 1 stunner. This guy is turn 1 super attacker. Always, always, always keep him on the yellow tile, no matter what. Keep him on the golden tile. Golden Frieza on the golden tile. Upgrade your special move into the ultimate. You're going to debuff some more. And then we are going to try out this Ultra right here. I actually don't think he's that cracked in terms of kit. But he is getting like 40% to his special move gauge of fights. And then obviously he's getting some bonus stuff when he activates the special move or ultimate arts. But this whole second ability is like revolving around him popping his green cards. And he's only popping these green cards when his health is 50% or below. So I mean, I guess we're going to try and get him to 50% or below. I mean, he's also getting this where he's getting a healing by receiving an attack and getting special move gauge. But I think the real like benefit of this guy specifically is in his ultra ability, I guess. So he's getting 5% to special move inflicted, and then per ally tag lineage of evil, which we have him on right here, 5% damage inflicted, 5% to key recovery, and then yeah, so we're gonna try him out. And I know a lot of you guys probably don't have that guy, so of course there's so many good green units on this team, right? So many, specifically this guy. Just throw him back on there, right? That's typically the bread and butter green unit that we've been using on LOE. This free-to-play Golden Frieza. Just slide him right back on. All right, so now we have the Frieza Force team. So core unit is just going to be that Revza right there, right? Support and pseudo healer for the team. And look at the boost. Look at all that boost on this team right here, bro. You got the tag unit, Jason Birder. You have the stunning Frieza, turn 1 stunner. You have the Z tier Mecha Frieza. That guy's just great. And then you also have the Monray on there as well. And then for the main roster, you have the turn 1 stun from the purple Frieza. You have the turn 1 super attack from the golden Frieza, golden tile, right? You guys already know by now. And then you also have the ultra Frieza on there too. So if you don't have that ultra golden Frieza, you can just go ahead and simply swap him out with the free-to-play green Angel Golden Frieza that we've been using on this team typically, right? So that is, I mean, you could also use the Rakim and Goldo, their S tier, if you want to just keep kind of just grabbing more points, right? So it's up to you. So for the next team, we have the Saiyans. So this is the blast-based Saiyans team right here. So no core units. For your boost, you have double Z tier boost, getting that 40%, right? Big 40. You have the purple Bardock, and then you have the Fasha. Fasha is stunning a unit. upon hitting them with the blast darts, which is nice. And even if you don't have that purple Bardock, there's still some good options in the Z tier boost, right? Like you have that green Namek Goku, who's a healer. You have the green World Tournament Goku, who's also a healer, right? So you do have some leeway right there to switch it up. As for the main team, you have triple tag units. Tag units are just strong, right? You know this, I know this, everyone knows this. Tag units are just really strong. You have the Buu Duo, and they're getting that Transcendent Kamehameha on turn 4, which is huge. You have the support from the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, support from the Kaba is also healing you as well. And then you have the Revival Nappa. Nappa, he doesn't have a star requirement. Nappa is just him. You want him to revive, right? You want your revival units to revive, and sometimes what you want the most is not what you get. Sometimes it's impossible to get them to revive. That's just how it works. Next, we do have the strike-based Saiyans right here. So I was on the fence between LOE and this team. I think it's more easier to build LOE without the new Ultra unit than it is to build Saiyans without the Ultra unit. Because even for me, I don't have God Q, right? God Q is like one of the staples on strike-based Saiyans. So no core unit here. You do have the Z tier World Tournament Goku, who's a healer, and the S tier, your number 1 Vegeta, who's also a healer. So only getting that 30% boost right here, not as much a boost as the last team. But the main team, you have the support from the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you have the Tag Goku Frieza, you have MEY with the dodge mechanic plus the damage, right? And then you have the Daima 4Q. Daima 4Q, we've already said it a lot. He's like the watered down version of Blue Beast Gohan. That means he's fantastic, right? Like, he's still really good. And then of course you have the brand new Ultra Goku, and honestly I'm not sure what his best replacement would be if you don't have the Ultra Goku. I'm pretty sure the staple yellow unit on this team is the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, the one who gets the guaranteed super attack on turn 2, right? Next we have Regeneration, my beloved Regeneration, dude, our OG team. So core unit Super Baby 2, never going anywhere. That's been established, will forever be established. Boost units, you have DKP, he's a debuffer. I like that guy a lot. You have Z tier Dale, he's alright. He's just there as a Z tier, he's just there to get your boost up. And then you have the S tier Yellow Metal Cooler. That guy's pretty decent as well, right? As for the main team, you have 2 guaranteed super attackers, turn 1 super attacker Bootanks, turn 3 super attacker Legends Limited Piccolo. The purple cell is offering so much debuffs. He can be swapped out with the Zenkai Legends Limited cell if need be. And then you have the Zenkai Zamasu right there as well. That guy can also be replaced by the Ultra Cell. If you do end up using the Ultra Cell, I probably would advise you try to squeeze on a little bit more cell units. That way you can get a little bit more from his Ultra ability. All right, for the next team, we got hybrids, the blast-based version. So we do have Pan as your HPZ ability core unit. You have double Z tier boost here for 40% with the green Gotenks and with the purple Kid Gohan. They're not really doing anything too special except for just being high tier boosts. For the main team, you do have the Grunks tag units, tag unit and revival unit. Then you have the free-to-play Blue Gohan in place of the Blue Beast Gohan. He's just better fit for the blast-based team. And then you have the double Ultras, right? Ultra Beast Gohan is essentially getting a super attack every fight. He's really good. And then you also have the Green Gohan, who's a little bit more of an RNG factor. If he gets hit with the Strike Arts, he mitigates it and then it gets 100% to his special move gauge. Then you also have the red Gotenks up there. Now we have the strike-based version. So core unit still Pan. Boost unit is going to be the transforming Trunks. And then the Z tier purple Gohan. Again, both of those guys aren't really doing anything too special. On the main team, you do have the tag unit Krillhan, whatever you guys are calling them. And then you have the Gotenks, fat Gotenks for the support. You have the blue Beast Gohan, the yellow Beast Gohan. Wonderful combo right there. And then you also have that Trunks. That Trunks melts powerful opponent. So he has the buffs against powerful opponent and against Frieza. Frieza Force, I believe it is. Or it might be Lineage of Evil. But just a really strong unit overall. And then it just makes sense to just segue that into Taunthan, right? So Taunthan, Sun Family, whatever you want to call this. Taunthan is the name of the game. That is your core unit right there. For your boost units, you have the purple Gohan. You have the World Tournament Goku, who's also a healer. Then on the main team, the best unit here is definitely that God Q, turn 1 super attacker. That's just turn 1 super attackers are so like valuable, right? They're so good. And then you have double beast Gohans here, you have Goten for support, and then you also have the red Kaioken Goku, the new one that just released in the celebration. Next, we do have Sagas from the movies. This is the blast-based version. So for your core unit, it is Roshi as your HPZ ability. For your boost units, you actually have 3 boosts here. So you have S tier Frieza, who's stunning on turn 1. You have the S tier Gamma one. I actually got to go see what he does. I forgot what he does. So he's not really doing too much in this first ability, but in the second ability, he is debuffing in a specific range in the middle row, 10% to damage received. He's getting a lot of crit stuff right here, and then he's also getting some damage cut on a special move arts hit. I mean, so if Rose hits him with a super attack, you'll get some value right there, right? Hopefully. And then you also have the Z tier purple Bardock right there. For the main team, you do have the tag unit Gammas. You do have the Red Ribbon Army Piccolo up there, who's offering, dude, like, I literally think it's a 1% heal in range. It's not a lot, so don't think, oh, he's gonna heal up all of my damage. Like, he's mainly there for the support, right? And then you have the blue-based Broly, who's giving blast-based debuffs. You have the Pycon on there, who's giving debuffs as well, pretty strong. And that guy doesn't go down, bro. Like, if you have, like, I think I ran him not at below 7 stars, and the dude would not go down. Next, we got Saga's strike base. So Pan is the HPZ ability here, core unit, right? For your boost units, you have 3 S tiers. You have the purple Days, you have the blue Aider, and then you have the red Zenkai Tapion. On the main team, you have the yellow Tapion, who's pocketing 1 unit right behind him. He's also debuffing the enemy team. He's a great unit to have on board, right? And then you have both of the Beast Gohans, blue and yellow. And then you have the Godku. So Godku, turn 1 super attack, right? That's enough said. So now let's take a look at the powerful opponent setup right here. Definitely more of a premium team. I feel like it's harder to build a powerful opponent setup than it is for some of these others, right? Especially since powerful opponent just has a lot of Legends limited units on it. But I feel like this one's not too bad. So core unit is the skinny Broly, second coming yellow Broly, HPC ability buffer. For your boost, you have the Z tier red Frieza, S tier Podza. And then the main team, that blue Goku Black, is support for the team. Garlic Jr. is also offering not necessarily like damage inflicted support, but the tile above, below, to the left and right of him, he's able to nullify their abnormal conditions and stuff like that, right? So if they get stunned in those tiles, he just voids it, which is very nice. And then when he transforms, he gets a guaranteed chance to double attack with the strike arts. Obviously, Purple Salad builds up his super attack really quickly. He's strong against hybrids and Saiyans. And then Ultra Rose, turn 1 super attack. Turn that bad boy into the ultimate, and you're good to go. We do have him labeled in the pink star rather than just a 7-star recommendation, just because you do want some firepower behind that super attack, right? I used him at 5 stars, and he didn't do bad, but he definitely made me want more damage, right? And then, of course, you have the Zenkai Zamasu. That dude is just, he's just him, dude. He's just him. He's also building up super attack really quickly. He's getting like 20% on each hit. All right, so next we got GT. So this is the Blast Space GT core unit, Super Baby 2, not going anywhere. That's your healer. For boost, you actually have 3 boost units here. You have the S tier Majub, the S tier Green Trunks, and then the Z tier Purple 17. That dude is so frail. You got to be super careful about bringing in that Purple 17. As for the main team, you have the Hellfighter 17, who's offering a lot of debuffs, right? He's debuffing on his blast arts as well. You have the Parasite Trunks. That guy's really strong against hybrids and Saiyans, right? He got some extra buffs against those tags. You have the Super 17. He gets a 50% chance to double attack against yellow units. So if you're going up against a yellow unit and you're just, hopefully you're proccing that every time, right? Hopefully I can give you guys the luck to proc that every single time if you're using this team. And then you also have the 17 also is absorbing a blast arts, right? That's pretty good. And then you have the Omega or is that Omega? Yeah, this dude is more like just damage oriented, so he's like getting blast damage inflicted and like on blast arts plus special move gauge. All right, so now we have the strike base GT, right? So Baby is still your core unit here, and then for your boost you have 3 S tiers, so you're getting that 30% right here with the Majub, the Red Baby, and the Nova. Nova is nice because he does have the barrier mechanic. Red Baby, he's only getting his damage cut if you're faced up against a Saiyan, so be careful about using him. Like, don't use him sporadically, like use him strategically. For the main team, you have the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku, turn 1 stun, tag unit, Gogeta form, and then you have Pan on there. Pan, honestly, personally, I feel like Pan should be a secondary unit on here. Super Baby 2 probably is ideal, especially if you have the stars on that bad boy, right? The Legends Limited one, that is. Next, we do got DB Saga. So this is a team that I do want to run right here. I have almost all the components of this. I think the only unit I'm missing here is the World Tournament Goku. But so your boost on here, you have a lot of boosts. You have Z tier Tambourine, and that dude's good, bro. Like, he's a powerful unit. And then you have the S tier Master Roshi, who is going to be your HPZ ability buffer. And you have the S tier DKP, who's a debuffer. You have the Z tier World Tournament Goku, who's a healer, and then you have the S tier Aider as well. And then on the main team, you have the Path to Power Goku, you have the Zenkai Launch, and you also have the blue free-to-play Bulma. The main thing that's holding me back from actually just being like, screw it, we're going to use this team, is look at the replacements on this team, dude. Look at it, like, that's crazy. It's ridiculous. Imagine me using this team, and you're like, Ezzy, I need a replacement for several of these units. So next, we got Universe Reps. So you have 2 core units, Bergamo, HPZ ability. He's also having the barrier mechanic. And then you have the green Golden Frieza, who's like going to heal the whole team, going to support the team, stuff like that, right? And then you have the core unit Golden Frieza. That dude's going to heal the whole team, he's going to debuff the enemy team. It's pretty good deal right there, right? And then for your boosts, you have the S tier Topo buffing up crit damage. You have the S tier Rosie, and then you have the S tier Blue Jiren, so getting a 30% boost right there. Main team Jiren, turn 1 stun. You have the support from MVP 17, and then you also have the guaranteed super attack from the Golden Frieza. Keep him on the golden tile. Upgrade that special move arts, get extra damage inflicted, get extra debuffs. And then next is going to be the strike-based version of this. So we have 1 core unit, which is Bergamo, barrier mechanic, HPZ ability, right? And then you have S tier Blue Jiren, S tier Blue Champa, S tier Yellow Topo for crit damage. You have a pseudo healer from the purple Jiren, also supporting the team. You have the pseudo healing from the Kaba, also supporting the team, right? He's buffing ki recovery too, which is pretty strong. You have guaranteed super attack on turn 2 with the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, and then you have the tag unit. Next, we do have the Majin Buu Saga. So for this one, you do have a core unit, which is Pui HPZ ability buffer, and then you have 3 boost units. So you have the Blue Tien, S tier, you have Z tier Gotenks, Z tier Deborah. And then on the main team, you do have the purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku free to play for support. You have the Gotenks, and then you have the Buu Duo. Buu Duo is probably the best unit on this team, if I'm being real honest, right? Because they're getting that Transcendent Kamehameha, all that good stuff. And then you do have the Hercule, the Buu with the Hercule assist on there. If you don't have the Hercule or the Buu unit Hercule assist, probably the next best thing is going to be the free-to-play Yellow 18. And next is the blast-based droids right here, dude. So you have no core unit. Closest thing to a core unit is going to be that healer cell, because not only is he healer, but he's also your HPZ ability buffer. And then you have the boost unit. You have Z tier Super 17, which is that purple one. It kind of sucks. It's a little rough on him, right? And then the S tier Green 17 also kind of aged out a little bit. I used to love running that guy. I used to run that dude all the time. But he's definitely a little bit aged right now. He still is all right. He has like the blast absorption and stuff like that. And then you also have the S tier Purple 17, who has the barrier mechanic. You have the Green 21 for the stun on turn 2. You have the MVP 17 support. You have the purple Legends Limited cell for basically just damage dealer, right? Strong against Saiyans hybrids. And then you have that Ultra Cell, bro. Ultra Cell is getting super attack like crazy quick. That dude's so good, bro. Like, he's Merge Zamasu level. He's better than Merge Zamasu, especially at even stars. And as for new characters, we don't really have much to show. It's just this guy, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what he got right here at maximum stats. Q restore speed is pretty bad at 2,267. It's a very slow unit, no ultimate. And then first ability, 65% to damage inflicted, 20% to special move damage inflicted, 10% to damage cut, 20% to key recovery. Okay, so that fixes the key recovery issue right there. Don't have to worry about that. Start a turn, restore health by 1% 2 times. At the start of turn? Why? That's stupid, bro. So turn 1, I'm 100% HP. Boom, I heal myself by 1% at the start of turn. What the hell is that? Unless I'm reading that wrong. At the start of the third turn, 10% to damage inflicted for 1 turn, 20% to key recovery, and 20% to special move gauge. That's alright. Blast starts attack, 10% to blast damage inflicted, 20% to crit, 5% to special move gauge. On special move hits, you inflict bleed for 2 turns, and you cancel the attribute upgrades of the enemy. On receiving an attack, 10% to special move damage. Okay, I mean, he's alright, I guess. Nah, I don't even think he's alright. I probably wouldn't use him, bro. If I'm being real honest with you, I probably wouldn't use him. Alright, so that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the walkthrough video. Later.